Nearly 1 in 4 people worldwide, that is more than 1 billion people, experience loneliness. Loneliness is also described as social pain, which motivates individuals to seek social connections. Do you experience loneliness?
I think definitely.
Do you experience loneliness?
Yes, sometimes.
I also have a show in the background always, just to feel the void, or fill the void.
In the world that's never been so connected as it is now, with so much technology, social media, and every single thing we have access to, I think people, myself included, experience loneliness more than we'd like, or more than we admit to. And I feel like it's something that many of us feel, and maybe we don't even know how to communicate that feeling. Right now, more than ever, people feel the need to connect with other human beings on a more deeper, meaningful level. So I have this feeling lately that there is a loneliness epidemic going on.
I think I will agree with you because when the social media appeared and on how it is very popular right now to communicate online, people are afraid to go to people and to communicate in real life.
But yeah, I think it's hard nowadays. Like I'm noticing it. Like because people when they are out, they are usually trying to be someone, and therefore they are fake, closed, you know.
Some days more than others. Like there's some days in which I do seek to have this sort of human connection. We spend so much time in it that in a way we disconnect from the real world. And to me it seems a bit like not being inside this virtual world is somewhat a luxury now.
So then, yeah, I have this feeling of loneliness when, I'm at home, even though obviously I have friends here around.
I think that it kind of puts people against each other, and it makes it a competition of who's happier.
While you think that social media makes it easier to keep friendships, I feel like also it's kind of harder because people just take it for granted that you're there, and then you don't really talk. You just reply to each other's stories, say oh my god, how are you? And that's it.
You think someone is just a FaceTime away, but then that just means no one ever actually picks up the phone to call them or FaceTime them.
But I think I spend quite a lot of time online. Oh, it's 7 hours actually.
I was off Instagram for 3 months, and then I re-downloaded it last week, and then I realized how it's such a trap for me.
Personally, I find it hard to meet new people because I'm also an introvert, so approaching people is somewhat of a challenge for me.
Actually, I think that also with all that pandemic stuff that we had, that elevated that. Being close with social media make us more further apart.
People are more close in themselves right now. For example, to approach someone on the street, it's hard because people are afraid.
Because it's easy to chat with meaningless things. And we think that when we speak to someone through Messenger or Snapchat, then that's enough, and we don't want to go out and meet other people.
Do you experience loneliness?
I think definitely.
I think also not so much loneliness, but before if you were alone, it could just be being alone, whereas now because you can see everyone's stories and see where people are and if they're together, and if you're not there, I think you're much quicker to feel like you're missing out or feel loneliness as opposed to feeling alone than maybe before.
Yeah, it's like the FOMO. Someone else is having fun, so I should be having fun, even if that night you were I'm happy to be alone. I mean, even we've talked about this, but watching a Netflix show and then you're on TikTok at the same time, it's the inability of having just brain noise.
Yeah, I need multiple things at one time. Otherwise, I feel I'm not, I'm understimulated if I don't have multiple things going on.
Invasion of technology we seek to evade it. I've gotten to a point in which I don't feel lonely in my own company.
Do you rely on background noise like TV or music to feel less alone?
Oh, I definitely used to, but not really anymore. So I like to be on my own now.
But yeah, I would say music is really filling my time all the time.
Do you experience loneliness?
Actually, I'm not lonely, but I know that, for example, one of the friends in my group is, I think, lonely. Is like stepped back and doesn't want to really connect with people.
It took a lot of work on my own and a lot of time. It comes at some point like this. You have to make space to find the peace within yourself and be okay with you.
I don't think it's bad feeling when you're alone. You just need to manage your thoughts and not be afraid being on your own.
I'm enjoying my own space, and I feel like I've already worked with my fears and all of the anxieties, that nowadays I feel very happy with what I built in my life, and I'm studying, like there's so many things that I'm just grateful to have. So now I don't feel lonely. I'm my own best friend.
Because I think I used to be lonely when I moved here when I was like 17 years old. But now after some times feeling lonely, I decided that I need to be my own best friend.
Actually, nowadays there are also so many dangers outside, with connecting with people, that you can be not abused, but overused with the energy. So you also have to be careful. After stopping using Instagram, I feel super dizzy, and my my self-image is much more worse. Then you feel so scared to talk to somebody on the street or in the bus. When I feel beautiful energy and being that I want to connect with, I feel I'm judging myself because I have the idea that I want to just approach somebody.
After interviewing all these people, the whole perception of this whole epidemic to me also opened in a completely different way. Because we are so used to having social media, when we are without it, we are left to our own devices. We are forced to meet ourselves for the first time. And a lot of people that we have interviewed have already gone through that, and they have found peace within being by themselves. But that is something that doesn't come easy to many people. And if you do experience loneliness, or if you are someone who is experiencing this feeling of sadness and isolation, know that the person next to you might be feeling the exact same, and that is okay. And that is something you have to go through in order to find peace within yourself. Find happiness in solitude, to get to know yourself better. Because you don't need to rely on other people, rely on outside noises, content, just to fill in something. Because you are whole just the way you are. And I feel like that is something that we all have to come to. And that is a consequence that we are just left to deal with. But know that you are not alone. And it's just a phase that you need to get through. But when you do get through, you will meet yourself and you will be happier than ever.